this was unexpected. 3 translated chapters of this, and now they actually are begging people becomes translators. It's the Fire Brigade of Flames. We begin with chapter 87, which is basically, well, more of a comedy part. But finally, I hear that the Fire Brigade of Flames volume 6 will at least be out soon. First off, I am the Angry Fan the Despair reviewer. This chapter itself first starts with everyone asking where everyone is. Lisa is in her hospital bed, pretty shaken. One wonders if she will recover. Hinoa is also being treated. So Maki is taking care of the legal stages, while Arthur asks, "What is the sixth?" As we all know, he don't know anything, but we don't know anything. So apparently, in this era, that medical treatment is actually only allowed by Holy Soul Temple, which is basically a little bit closing in there. I'm beginning to see why the 7th Brigade, that was their name, right, do not really like the Empire. The fact that they do have to preach that and that is a little bit morally questioning. So they are therefore the 6th, who is also a Holy Soul Temple, and the 1st are the only ones who are specialized in medicine. Of course, it's a special fire brigade that is also a hospital, and Commander Huang is the best there is. They have managed to remove the blade, but to save Shinra, they need to treat his flame. So Huang decides to use her firepower, something she called Askevelicious Staff, as she summons a small fire snake from her hand and puts that snake into Shinra's body, saying, "Snake, bring him to life." The brigade are all watching outside, worried about Shinra's condition. And even though the captain of the 8th Brigade is also worried, he does acknowledge that Captain Huang is someone who can heal any wounds and cure any diseases, thanks to her Aquilicious Staff fire. So finally, finally Arthur cannot take anymore and begins to peep, even though it says "be patient," which is basically no pun. And as soon as this happens, he force opens the door, much to his frustration of his comrades, as we see Shinra being on fire. We see a comedy scene with Maki and Taki all doing all that. As the commander of the 8th, saying, "Hey, I didn't ask you to cremate him." The 3 guys, Arthur, Maki, and Tamaki, all begin to cry, saying, "Are you dead?" But he is not dead. He's not being cremated. Basically, Juan's fire is a rehabilitation flame. It's something like her flame amplifies the regeneration of the body. It's like if an external wound, for example, the cells around the wound would divide and even connect. She activates the regenerative power of the patient by accelerating his cell divisions. Therefore, the muscle fibers, nerves, all severed structures are healing. And if the user is a fire user, then she can fasten the process. So in other words, Shinra's ability flames is heating his own body, but he is still very much on fire. As Arthur says, "Call the fire department." We are the fire department. And he prepares to execute Shinra, but Maki manages to stop him. Finally, they douse out the fire, and Shinra is out of danger. He is saved. 3 days later, he awakes, starving, wounded, and very much depressed. The fact that, well, he met Sho. He tried to get back Sho, but he is still with the preacher. He curses himself for being weak. Then suddenly a very unknown person enters the fray. It's none other than the 1st commander of the 1st Brigade, who says, "I'm glad you're alright." But of course he's not here to just say, "I was gonna check on you. I'm gonna tell you what happened 12 years ago." Finally, the mystery of that despair may come to light. What is the captain's condition? I mean, what is his connection to all this? and what will happen. All in all, this was a pretty fun chapter, especially the fact that the three guys, Arthur, Tamaki, and Maki, all had their very extreme reaction to this. That was actually very funny. But really shows the friendship of all this. And yet I have a feeling we're now getting into a story of despair. But hey, you give me your thoughts if you have any.